Hello, Rock Out Loud. My name is Salvatore, and welcome back to another installment of our podcast that we do here. This one specifically covering students that just performed in our recent show at the Starland Ballroom. I'm here with my good friend Rishi. Sure, we'll add some clapping noises in the background. Rishi, how are you, bro?
I'm good. What about you?
I'm good. Dude, you're the first person that asked me that. Thank you. I'm doing great. Doing great. And let's start out by asking you what you play, how long you've been playing for, all that good stuff.
I play electrical guitar. I've been playing guitar for probably my whole life, but here at Rock Out Loud, it's like a year and a half.
Really? Has it been that? I thought it was way longer. No, maybe like 2 years, I thought.
I think maybe 2 years.
Maybe about 2 years.
I can't keep track of time.
Yeah, dude. Me neither. How's your summer going?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
What about you?
Dude, it's going pretty. It is flying by. It's
It
flying
really
by.
is.
Dude, it's gonna be August. Wait, tomorrow? No?
I
Wait,
thought
what
today
day is
was
it today?
like-
Oh, it's the 30th. Never mind. But we are very close to August, which is crazy. So you started off your summer with a show, pretty much, because it was the 30th.
Pretty much, yeah.
Where did you perform?
At the Starland Ballroom.
Starland Ballroom. And was this your first ever show?
Nah, it was not. I did the Stone Pony in late November in 2023.
Awesome. Awesome. And tell us about that. So you did the Stone Pony. What song did
Yeah.
you perform?
I can't even remember.
Was it Back in Black?
I think it might have been,
Something like that. So let's real quick talk about, because that was your first ever show.
yeah.
What was it like for your first ever show being performed at the Stone Pony with a full band?
Exciting. I mean, it's always exciting performing there.
Yeah.
It's a great time, great experience there. You know, a lot of history there.
Yeah. Yeah, and what was my follow-up was going to be about how some of the most legendary musicians have played on that stage before. And you probably were standing somewhere near where those same people were at some point, which is incredible to think about. Talk to us about the process, because it's a long process when you're doing a show, from learning to playing. So tell us all about that process and your favorite part.
So we got together in this like little room, not really little, and then we would just practice the song for 15 minutes, have a little band session, and it was a great time.
Yeah.
Over like a span of 2 to 3 months. Yeah.
And how were your bandmates for the first show?
Oh, they were great. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. And how did you feel walking on that stage at the Stone Pony for the first time?
Excited.
Nervous?
I mean, no, I don't get nervous.
I know. You know, I think so too. No, dude, that's awesome. Yeah, that's great. Excited. You were just ready to play.
hmm
And what was your first reaction when you looked into the crowd?
I was scanning for my parents. But I mean, the whole reason I do guitar is for them. I mean, they love music. I love music. It's like a whole thing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And was the feeling the same or maybe a little different for the show at Starland?
Yeah, I'd say about the same, but the Starland just had a lot more significance because this song was like especially dedicated for my dad. He loves Bob Marley, so
Yeah.
that's why I did it.
So you did Three Little Birds.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was a song that was different than what we usually would have done, and that was you learned a new technique. I don't know if you remember what it is for that specific genre. Do you remember what it is?
The like upstrokes.
Those strums on those upbeats.
Yeah.
Those could be a pain sometimes, but you picked up very fast. Did a lot of metronome work to get you to fill in those spots perfectly, and you did a great job. Dude, you did great, but you didn't bring your guitar.
I
It was the
don't.
second time.
I don't have a guitar actually. I have an acoustic, but
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right. Well, we got to change that. We got to get you a guitar because you're great. One thing that I definitely want to touch on for this specific episode is how much you love theory.
yeah, I just the way I see things is there's a pattern in everything that you do, and so music theory just like brought out my love for that patterns. I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
They're all over the place,
hmm
and we've covered a lot of
A
theory.
lot of theory.
A
Yeah.
lot of theory. So that's great. I mean, it's nice and refreshing when somebody wants to learn about the back end of music, which you don't teach very often, but I get to teach it with you, and I have a blast doing it. So what are your plans as a musician for the future? Is this something that you see yourself doing long term, maybe as a career?
Honestly, yeah. I think I'm gonna stick with guitar for most of my high school, even college life, actually,
Cool.
because it's a great instrument to play. and there's a lot of fun that you can have while doing it.
Yeah. And do you play any other instruments?
I used to play piano when I was like really little, but I just thought guitar was a lot cooler. So,
I think so too.
Yeah, I did.
I think so too. What's nice is that
guitar.
if you know the guitar, you can easily put it on the piano. That's what I learned. You know, I'm not a great piano player, but you know, I think that because I knew guitar and you know theory on guitar, you can pretty much put that right on the piano, which is really cool to think about. So, again, with careers, do you see yourself maybe in a band? You could be doing originals, covers. Do you see yourself teaching? Maybe being a session player? Any of those things?
You know, actually, when I got older, I thought I could get a job here.
You know what, dude? You know enough theory to teach anybody, which is great. You also have great technique. You know, one thing that I think we've honed in on in our lessons that I think you also used a lot during the show, things like alternate picking, you know, where to place your hands on the guitar, you know, posture, things like that. A lot of things that, you know, a lot of places don't cover. Have you taken lessons before Rockoutloud, or is this your first ever time taking lessons?
I took lessons before Rockoutloud, and that was with the acoustic that I have. But yeah.
How was the experience taking lessons before this compared to taking lessons at Rockoutloud?
Rockoutloud's a lot better, I'll tell you that, because I was homeschooled, actually, not by my parents, but by a tutor.
Okay.
And so coming here, when I first came here, actually, it was a lot of fun. Like, I expected a lot of great things, and Rockoutloud just delivered them.
Dude, I loved it. We didn't pay him to say that. That's great to hear, man. I love to hear that. No, that makes me happy. What's your favorite part of our lessons?
You. I mean,
thanks, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you. You know, I have a lot of fun with you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a great time. I tried to stump you with that theory question we had last week where we were learning California Girls by Katy Perry. And I asked you what the key of the song was. What key was that song in?
F.
Yes, it was in F major. Yeah. That was great. Yeah, I told him about that. That was a great
second relative minor.
Second, yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that too. So, last question that I have for you, which is my favorite question to ask you. It's a two-part question. The first part is, how has playing 2 shows now changed you as a person? Not as a musician, but as a person.
Well, I mean, I get less nervous now because I'm kind of comfortable with doing shows. I mean, at first I was like a little nervous because, you know, historical moment, my parents are going to be there, everything's going to happen.
But even outside of that, like outside of doing shows, like as a person in day-to-day life.
As a person?
How's it changed you in these shows? Honestly,
it's a really great time. It just makes me like a better person because it makes me more whole.
Yeah. I'd love to hear that, dude.
Yeah.
And as a musician, how's it changed you?
As a musician?
Do you feel like now you can
I've gotten better.
Yeah. I agree. Do you feel like you can transfer this experience out? Let's just say years down the road, you start a band. Do you think that the process that you go through here to play a show, you can use for your own band?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's just a step to take. You know, you got to like go out, present yourself, have a nice time in a show. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. And what would be your, to wrap things up, what would be your advice to somebody here that has never done a show before but is planning on doing one? We have one coming up in November, which we'd love to have you again. What would you tell a student who is looking to do a show? They're asking for your advice. What would you tell them?
Absolutely do it and do not regret it. Because down the road, you're going to be wishing you did it.
Absolutely. And is there any advice when it comes to playing and all that other stuff that you'd give them?
Oh, don't be nervous at all. It's a good thing to play.
Absolutely. Rishi, you were incredible. Thank you so much for coming on. This has been Rishi, everybody. Thanks for coming, dude.